All right. Hello, class. This is Mr. Vicente here. Now, I'm happy to introduce our webpage to you. So remember, this webpage is designed to create an interactive experience, but also to help guide you in the wonderful world of world history. Right. So I'll be your personal guide through our webpage. So let's go ahead and take a look. Right. So in order to make sure that we think about inclusivity, right. So what we're looking at here is we have two different cross-cultural ways that we can think about history, right? So one of them is this very famous poem called En Lak'ech, right, which is a poem which translates "I am you, you are me." It's a way of thinking about the inclusivity in history, right? So if you ever think about some of the polemical things we might talk about, from the Holocaust, imperialism, some of these things might be a little rough to discuss. So as long as we have an inclusive and a positive learning environment, I think this poem helps out with thinking about history. We also have the Sankofa bird, which is a Ghanaian bird, right? Which it's a mythological creature in which it flies forward but is looking backwards. So I like to use the metaphor, the analogy, to think about how we take things from the past and we bring them to the present, right, and help us guide our future, right? So in terms of thinking like thinking like a historian, I have this wonderful YouTube video that you can go ahead and watch on your free time, and also some key questions. So what does it mean to think like a historian? So now you all officially are historians, right? You're students of history, especially in this class. And as students of history, what I want you to do is think about some of these key critical questions. Think of history as if you're a detective trying to uncover and discover new and amazing things, and also find evidence using primary sources, libraries, heritage sites, all sorts of different things, right? And think about the historical significance and the cause and effect of these things. Right, so take a look at some of our other pages that we have here. So we also have a series of interactive web pages, digital interactive web pages, such as Quizlet. Quizlet is an excellent resource that helps you connect to key concepts, terms, ideas that we're going to discuss in class. And also they have preset quizzes that you can use just to review things. We also have Pixton, which is an excellent way to be creative with history, right? So you'll be required to do some comic strips. So this is an excellent comic strip maker. We also have Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle is a self-paced or teacher-paced quiz, which is a video quiz, which has the student interact with the videos in a more, I guess, in a goal-oriented way, right? So we have objectives, we have questions, and helps you answer open-ended and closed-ended questions, multiple choice questions, which is pretty great. We also have Coggle, which is a mind map app, right, which helps you organize your notes. Pretty great. So let's take a quick look at other useful things. So in our useful links page, we have a series of student resources. So here are some important and useful links. So we have a series of archives and libraries. So we have the British Library, which is an excellent source for primary and secondary sources, including political cartoons, primary source documents, quotes directly from those who are in history. We also have the Library of Congress, which is a U.S.-based library, which gives us excellent resources in our study of history. We also have the National Archives, which is our archives that date back very far in the past, and they give us insight into what happened using primary and secondary sources. We also have Docs Teach. Docs Teach provides us with primary sources, but also fun activities you can do and to explore history. So yeah, so go ahead, feel free to check those out. We also have our Wikipedia pages, and I like to use this Wikipedia page, which is a list of online newspapers and archives from around the world, right? So we can use these to capture moments in time, right, identified in newspapers. Right. We also have poetry. We have a link to the Poetry Foundation, which is an excellent resource if you're interested in getting more of that visceral, raw connection. What were the poets thinking of those time periods? So I have a specific link to World War I, which is pretty great. But there's also other links to different time periods. It can be time period oriented as well. We also have Khan Academy, which is an excellent self-guided resource. They have concepts from, you name it, Mesopotamia to Pol Pot and what happened with the Khmer Rouge. All sorts of excellent resources. We also have more critical resources, such as the Zen Project. Now, the Zen Project offers us a way of looking at history from the people's perspective. What exactly was happening, not necessarily from the generals and politicians, but from the people's perspective. It's pretty great. Right. We also have another critical resource, which is Facing History and Facing Our Lives, which allows us to think of look at history through a different lens, which is more critical. Now, in terms of using the use of graphic organizers, so we have some graphic organizers that we have that I used that I developed here using Google Docs, right? So they identify um, key terms, helps identify a timeline, cause and effect, identify primary sources, right? And also think about key figures in history. Right. Now, in addition to that, we also always must make sure that we are being safe with our internet use. So we have a series of different collections of things that can help prepare you and protect you from any types of malware, any types of viruses that might affect your computer, but also thinking about other folks who might be out there with not the best intention for younger folks who are trying to learn. And since the internet does have the ability to have some negative interactions with between um, people who might be not the best characters, this is a great way to help identify and find safe ways to go online. We also have Space. This application here, Space, is a screen time application, which helps minimize your amount of screen time. Right. So in addition to those pages, we have more. Right. We have also the use of assistive technology. All right. Now, with assistive technology, these are different things to help those who may need additional support, right? So these are ADA applications, so American Disability Act applications, in which we can actually connect to important ways and important materials that can help you become a better learner if you have some hearing, maybe vision, or any other types of challenges when it comes to learning. So we have audio players and recorders, timers, reading guides. We can also provide seat cushions for those who might have other additional requirements to improve their learning, calculators, writing supports, graphic organizers, a whole series of different things that are just excellent for those who may require assistive technologies in learning. Now, in order to differentiate our ability to learn, I have tic-tac-toe assignments. Now, tic-tac-toe assignment menu, this is going to allow us to go ahead and pick from different um, projects for this particular one. This is about civil rights and the Cold War. And this is a project in which will allow you to select specific items. So we have like a word silhouette, we have haikus, 3-to-1 analysis, complete graphic organizers to dive, cost to dive for, and the actual instructions are listed here below, right? So we have also technology associated with that, such as word art. For comic strips, we have, once again, we have Pixton, we have haikus, 3-to-1 analysis, travel brochure. Imagine you're traveling back in time. You can create a brochure, eulogies. You can be a historical critique. So imagine if you're writing a Yelp review related to a specific time period. In addition to those sources, we also have our lectures and some guided notes that will help you connect to the material. So they're all available here, right? We have nationalism, World War One, between the wars, fighting the wars. So all of these are available for you, and they're available using Google Slides. So it's pretty great. And we also have the actual web pages dedicated to specific sites that have assignments, such as this one here. We have the Age of Imperialism, and it goes through a series of interactive elements, right? And also we have driving questions, right? Reminders of Sankofa and in Lakesh, right? And also our assignments here as well. So you can also follow along with graphic organizers that are available in most of our web pages, right? So and also more PowerPoints, of course, right? And PDF also in different ways. We also have primary source documents that I have for you, right? And we go along, right? And we have all these excellent resources with assignments, guided notes that can help you connect to materials, right? So here we go. So an additional graphic organizer for you, right? As you can see, they get a little bit more, they ask more, right? As we maneuver through the different points in history. All right, so yeah, so this is going to be our website, folks. So please make sure that you get familiar with it, and everyone have a great day.